Hello, this half term I'm going to be doing a series of videos on how to have fun with phonics. One of the questions that I'm often asked by teachers and TAs is for new ideas to put into their phonics sessions or to have as adult initiated activities for children. So I'm going to do a little series of videos with a different idea each week. So today I'm going to focus on a board game which I have used with my class. It sits very well in the apply part of the phonics lesson because it is based around reading sentences. What I've done is I've created a whole set of cards for phase 5B and another set for phase 5C. So each new grapheme within those two parts of the letters and sounds programme, I have got a little game for that will sit within the apply part of the lesson on the day where you have introduced that new grapheme. So what I do is I often will work on this once a week in the apply part of the lesson over a series of weeks, and the game builds up. So there is a little game board like this, which I put on the board in the carpeted area where I teach phonics. I split the class into half, just where they are sitting in their carpet spaces, and they're going to be two teams. They're quite like team games. It has an added sort of incentive and enjoyment about it. So one team is going to be the blue team, one team is going to be the red team. So I give the dice to somebody in, say, the blue team. They roll the dice. If it lands on, say, a number 4, that means that the blue team moves along 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have landed on a green square, so they get to pick a green card that I have pre-prepared. So let's imagine that this is the card that they chose. So I'll just put the game board down a moment. That would be on the wall. And then we have a go at reading the caption. Now, what I would normally do is to actually pre-draw some sound buttons underneath the words that have the focused grapheme in. So I would probably put sound buttons under this one and under this one. So as a class, we read the caption or the instruction, whatever it is. So you draw a, now we might want, it's a long word, what do we need to do? We might need to split this one up. Fan, tas, ick, tick, fantastic. This is a long one, what do we need to do? Let's split it up. Bean, stalk, beanstalk. You draw a fantastic beanstalk with, let's sound this one out, chalk. You draw a fantastic beanstalk with chalk. Go on 4. So that means they get to move on 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, and their counter sits there. Now, let's imagine that it's then the red team's turn. They get to throw the dice. Let's imagine it lands on a 3 for the sake of argument. So 1, 2, 3, they've landed on a red one. So they would choose one of the 2 red cards that are available for that lesson. So if we have a look at this one, again, this one would probably have sound buttons underneath, as that contains the focus phoneme for today, which is AL making all. You stop, it's a long one, we need to split it up. Talk, ing, talking. You stop talking to your friends, jump back 2. So that means they have to go back 2 spaces. So basically the green cards are good things. They usually get to jump forwards. The red things, not usually quite so good, and they end up going backwards. That then stays on the wall for next week, and usually in one of the apply parts of the phonics lesson the following week, we will do the board game again, but this time the cards will all contain the grapheme that we're focusing on in that lesson. And they really look forward to it. They'll often say, when are we playing the board game? When are we playing the board game? So that will stay on the wall for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We'll work on it over a sequence of lessons in weeks. What I also do is to leave out a copy of that with sets of cards containing the graphemes that we have already covered, and they enjoy using that as an adult initiated activity. So I've tried to carefully construct the cards so that they do also contain some of the tricky words which we've learned for reading. For those of you that have access to the Gold Treasure Chest on my website, there is a complete set of cards and board game for phase 5B. So there's a set of cards for each of the graphemes at 5B, and this month's resource actually is a board game but for phase 5C, so it contains each of the new graphemes at phase 5C. I shall see you again next week at 7 o'clock on Wednesday for another tip on how to have fun with phonics.